The tale starts with a young lad named Ning, who, at the age of 18, is still working as an office drone, but has grand aspirations of making it big. One day, however, his dreams come crashing down when he receives some terrible news. His girlfriend of 5 years has dumped him over the phone. To make matters worse, Ning discovers that she had been having an affair with a wealthy man. It was undoubtedly one of the darkest days of his life, and he was left nearly penniless after spending all his savings on lavish gifts for his now ex. Adding to his burden, he has to take on a part-time job at an internet cafe to pay for his father's rent and college expenses. As he strolls down the street, attempting to forget his sorrows, Ning is weighed down by the heavy burden of heartbreak and financial hardship. Ning's life took an unexpected turn when he witnessed the young girl darting across the road, almost getting crushed by a speeding truck. Without a second thought, Ning flung himself forward to save her, but it was too late for him. His body took the full impact of the oncoming truck, leaving him lifeless on the pavement. When he regained consciousness, Ning found himself in a strange realm, clueless as to what had happened to him. That's when he encountered the god of life and death, who revealed to him that it was not his time to die. In fact, he had been destined to live until the ripe old age of 98. The god of life and death was baffled at Ning's untimely death, but instead of being grateful for the second chance, Ning lashed out at the deity, blaming him for letting him die in the first place. Ning pleaded with the god of life and death to bring him back to life, but the deity regretfully informed him that it was impossible. Instead, he offered Ning the chance to be reincarnated in a different world. Ning made it clear that he longed for a life of ease and comfort, requesting not to return as someone who was irresponsible or slothful. The god of life and death was taken aback when Ning's final decision was to be reborn as a prince. After waking up in a new world, Ning discovered that he had been reincarnated as the heir to the most powerful clan. He sported a lascivious grin, relishing his newfound status as a proud and indolent noble, enjoying a life of luxury and ease with the aid of his two maids, Kunka and Q. Despite being gifted in martial arts, he shirked his responsibilities, preferring to spend his days lounging around and napping. One day, while he was dozing off, his father paid him a surprise visit. Ning was caught off guard and immediately sprang up, pretending to practice martial arts. However, his father saw through his facade and recognized that he was a talented fighter but lacked discipline and work ethic. To become a worthy future leader of the clan, Ning needed to prove himself by defeating the demonic beasts, and showing that he was willing to put in the hard work and dedication required to succeed. Ning initially underestimated the demonic beast, assuming it was small and harmless. However, when the shackles were removed, the creature transformed into a massive serpent, leaving Ning astonished and intimidated. Despite feeling his courage waver, Ning steeled himself for the challenge and charged towards the beast, determined to complete his mission. He launched himself at the monster, wielding his sword with all his might, but the creature's powerful tail kept beating him back. Despite repeated setbacks, Ning refused to back down. His heart pounding with determination, he took a moment to observe the beast and formulate a new plan. With renewed vigor, Ning charged once more, but his sword was no match for the creature's impenetrable skin, and he was sent tumbling to the ground. Undeterred, Ning refused to give up, resolving to find a way to defeat the beast and prove himself to his father. Ning drew upon the power within him, his eyes clenched shut, as he summoned the crimson aura. The energy surged through his body, empowering him to move with greater speed and strength. He seized his courage and focused his power, delivering a swift and fatal blow to the beast's throat. His father then passed him a jade sword, a magical weapon that only responded to Ning's blood. The sword glowed as it absorbed the slain beast's power, and Ning felt it come alive in his hand. He leapt into the air and with a final strike, the monster was vanquished. However, the mother of the beast sought revenge on Ning, and immediately attacked him. Ning tried to escape from the arena, but the monster pursued him. Ning resorted to a special technique to defeat it, but the creature was quick and managed to dodge, although it lost an arm in the process. As he rose to his feet, he unleashed a magical spell to regrow his severed arm. But before he could regain his composure, the ferocious monster lunged towards him once more. However, his father arrived in the nick of time and chased away the beast, reuniting Ning with his mother. Although Ning tried to explain that the monster had a reason for attacking him as he had previously killed its offspring, his mother believed that he lacked emotional maturity, which could hinder his reign as king. But his father, who had returned, granted Ning permission to train in the outside world, much to his delight. Without a second thought, Ning ventured into the forest, accompanied by Bei and Kuya. As they explored, they stumbled upon a lake, and Ning's attention was drawn to a bird perched on a tree. However, his attempt to steal the bird's eggs was interrupted by the sight of a massive snake looming in front of him. In a moment of panic, he lost his footing and tumbled from the tree. To his surprise, a girl appeared, mocking him and warning that he would regret his actions if the snake attacked him. Infuriated by the girl's teasing, Ning soon discovered that she was, in fact, the same creature he had encountered earlier. Ning engaged in a grueling battle with the snake girl, attempting to subdue her without causing harm. However, she showed no mercy and ended up breaking his ribs. Determined to overcome his adversary, Ning employed a healing technique to mend his injuries and fought back with renewed vigor. Their struggle seemed unending, but ultimately Ning became ensnared in a trap. Even as he ordered his companions to flee, Ning refused to abandon his own predicament. He managed to break free of the trap, only to confront the transformed form of his foe, a hideous monster. To his surprise, he noticed Zan, a notorious villain known for his malicious deeds, standing alongside the snake girl. Despite her earlier warnings, Ning was about to launch a fierce counterattack when Bei intervened. Sensing that this was a pivotal moment in Ning's training, Bei urged him to remain still and observe. He explained that just as a lotus flower remained calm and steady despite the tumultuous winds around it, so too did Ning need to take time to meditate and contemplate his surroundings. As they watched the snake girl being tortured to strip her of her powers, Ning pondered the lessons that Bei had imparted. As Ning closed his eyes and focused, he finally succeeded in awakening the power of the lotus flower, granting him the ability to create fire and water to cut through any object. In a stunning display of his newfound powers, Ning easily destroyed a tree trunk that Zan had flung towards him. Unperturbed by Zan's arrogant taunts, Ning unleashed his elemental abilities to their fullest potential. The monster accompanying Zan attempted to attack Ning, but he quickly countered and smashed it to pieces. With Zan now trembling in fear before him, Ning seized the moment to exact his revenge. Despite Zan's pleas to become his disciple, Ning refused, unwilling to use his friends as mere tools in his pursuits. Summoning his power once more, Ning unleashed a devastating attack, utterly annihilating his former enemy and his monstrous ally. With the threat to his clan finally extinguished, Ning breathed a sigh of relief, grateful for the guidance of his friends and the lessons he had learned along the way. The snake girl gratefully thanked Ning for saving her life and offered to grant him a favor in return. However, their conversation was abruptly cut short by Kuya, who informed them of a nearby village that had been burned down, possibly by a demonic snake. Despite his initial disbelief that a mere snake could cause such destruction, Ning recalled his mother's warning about his emotions being his weakness. He realized that his kindness could ultimately lead to the suffering of those he loved, and he vowed to defeat the demon snake no matter what. Bei advised him that he was still too weak to face the demon snake, and that he needed at least 3 years of training to become strong enough. However, Ning was determined to find a way to defeat the enemy sooner. In a stroke of luck, the snake girl offered a solution to Ning's problem, promising to make him stronger in no time. With renewed hope, Ning eagerly accepted her offer and prepared himself for the challenging battles that lay ahead. The snake girl shared a fascinating tale of a wealthy man named Master Suha who promised to bestow his inheritance upon Ning, but only if he passed 3 rigorous tests. Despite the possible danger, Ning was determined to embark on this journey alone, bidding farewell to the snake girl who wanted to accompany him. As Ning approached the entrance of the cave, he came across a sign that promised a reward of his choosing for whoever could complete the task. However, his bravery was put to the test when he encountered an armored guard who warned him of the impending danger and urged him to turn back. Refusing to back down, Ning continued forward, only to find himself confronted by an army of soldiers who multiplied in number with each passing moment. Undeterred, Ning fought valiantly, but the soldiers seemed invincible, withstanding multiple blows and even reappearing after being sliced into pieces. It was only after 3 exhausting days of continuous combat that Ning realized the soldiers were interconnected and had to be eliminated as a unit. With each defeated soldier, the magic controlling energy weakened, bringing him one step closer to victory. Finally, after a grueling battle, Ning emerged victorious, collapsing on the ground, gasping for breath. His determination and strength had prevailed, and he knew that he was one step closer to unlocking his true potential. Exhausted from his previous victory, Ning knew that he could not rest yet. Determined to complete the remaining tests, he took a moment to meditate and regain his strength. However, his moment of solitude was interrupted by a wild monkey who appeared out of nowhere. The monkey seemed to have given up on life after being dumped by his girlfriend and urged Ning to skip the 3rd test. But the beast warned him not to hold back as he was about to unleash his full strength. Without warning, the monkey slapped Ning, prompting him to summon his 2 swords and a lotus flower. But despite his best efforts, the monkey proved to be a formidable opponent, effortlessly countering Ning's attacks. Frustrated, Ning tried even harder, causing a massive explosion in the area, but to no avail. The monkey remained unfazed until he suddenly began to cry, his tears urging Ning to work even harder and hurt him, even if only a little. Ning was taken aback by the unexpected reaction of the examiner, who cried out in a pitiful manner, lamenting his loneliness after being alone for thousands of years. Using his quick wit, Ning manipulated the beast's emotions and cleverly turned the tables, causing the monkey to injure itself with its own claws. Despite not being physically stronger than the monkey, Ning's intelligence proved to be his greatest asset in defeating his opponent. Accepting his defeat, the monkey acknowledged Ning as his master before disappearing into thin air. With the monkey gone, Ning continued his journey and eventually stumbled upon a tranquil purple room, perfect for meditation. As he prepared to begin his practice, he was surprised to encounter a giant ox who introduced himself as the magic spirit Suiha. Congratulating Ning on passing the test, the ox revealed that he was now the 5th master of this mystical place, a testament to his unwavering determination and strength. Feeling unfulfilled after completing a complex test, Ning expressed his disappointment to the ox, who could only offer him a medal and little else as a spirit guide. The previous master would have been the one to teach him, but he had already departed. Fortunately, the ox was able to impart the 1000 small sword formation technique, a powerful skill that could help Ning control multiple weapons and inflict significant damage on his opponents. If he mastered it, he could even shake heaven and earth. For a whole month, Ning trained diligently, honing his skills and preparing for his next challenge. He descended to the bottom of the lake to face the demon snake, and his aura was so strong that even the water itself was exposed. The monster attacked him with flames, but Ning was quick to counter with his sword. As he swam to the surface, the enraged demon followed, but Ning used his new powers to injure the snake's body. The demon tried to flee, but Ning cornered it, determined to emerge victorious. He summoned the power of 1000 swords and sliced the demon's head in half. After defeating the demon snake, Ning returned home only to find out that his clan was at war with the Shulong clan. The leader of the Shulong clan, Tongyu, had already killed most of Ning's clansmen in a previous battle. And now, Tongyu's battle prowess was being increased by Suli, the mastermind behind the Shulong clan's attacks. Ning knew that they had to take out Suli first in order to have a chance at defeating Tongyu. But finding Suli proved difficult as she had likely gone into hiding. Ning's only hope for victory was to gather a team of 5 people to release all the dragons from the sky chains. These dragons would then join their side in the upcoming battle. Ning went to the Shulong clan to inform them of the location of the battle, and he even threatened to kill Tongyu while she was still in her mother's womb. On the day of the battle, Ning and Bei were tasked with secretly ensuring that the Shulong clan could not escape. Meanwhile, 5 other higher-ups, including Ning's parents, were in charge of controlling the dragon's seal. Ning's father gave him dragon scales that turned into swords to help him defeat the Shulong clan. With his new weapons, Ning arrived at the battlefield and used them to stun the enemy with thousands of swords. But the enemy quickly rallied and attacked him simultaneously, causing Ning to explode and sustain injuries. Using his powers to heal himself, Ning found that he had become stronger than ever before. He rose into the sky and broke through the seal that the enemy had erected to protect themselves. Dragon seals appeared, and Ning controlled countless weapons. Swords rained down from the sky as Ning awakened the power of the lotus. One by one, he beheaded the enemy, despite their attempts to reach him. Although Ning emerged victorious from the battle, the dragon seal was ultimately broken by Tongyu's power. Ning came to his parents' rescue just in time before Tongyu could attack them. Although Tongyu transformed into a larger form, he was no match for Ning's strength. The enemy launched an attack on Ning, using a 1000-blade technique, but the two of them engaged in a fierce battle until Ning combined the 1000-sword technique with the lotus flower technique. With his incredible speed, Ning injured Tongyu badly, giving him no room to breathe. After a final blow, Ning used the power of the lotus flower to weaken his opponent before decapitating him. Ning tried to absorb Tongyu's power, but he was immobilized, and Suli took the chance to summon her own dragon and attack Ning's plan. The higher-ups of the clan tried to stop the attack, but it was too late. With all the dragons against him, Ning found it nearly impossible to match their strength. As he watched helplessly, the enemy dragon devoured his family piece by piece, leaving Ning grinding his teeth and crying in agony. Suli's attack caused the whole place to crumble, leaving only Ning and Bei, the sole survivor of their clan. Fueled by his pain and rage, Ning ascended into the sky to fight Suli, eventually emerging victorious. Despite his triumph, The reality of the tragedy weighed heavily on him, and Bei, who was now the only surviving member of their clan, wept with him as they mourned the end of their story. The story teaches us that we shouldn't give up on our goals, even when things get tough. It also reminds us that being lazy and taking shortcuts can make it hard for us to succeed in life. So we need to work hard and be disciplined to achieve our dreams.